Do I want it to be this boiled piece of bass? No, I want it to be this hoagie with mayo and extra oil.
Not what loved ones will I be leaving behind.
All right, ball breaking with Mike and Steve. I'm Steve.
And I'm Mike. We're back again.
With Brian. What's up, Bri?
Yo, yo, yo.
And I don't know, I'm back on a diet. These guys are breaking my balls about that. It's funny, episode 1, I talked about keeping the weight off. I didn't do a really good job.
Nah, he got fat again.
No, yeah, but it's funny, like, I don't want people... Like, I remember somebody told me recently, you got to stop talking about how you're fat on stage because you insult really fat people.
But hold on, let's talk about.
But I'm fat for you know when you're fat. Like, don't try and tell me that I'm in shape. Like, I have the type of body. I take my clothes off. If I was single, I take my clothes off. They're like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know when it's time to go on a diet. Water, black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
That was a song. Black sugar, no black coffee, no sugar, no cream. That was a song.
Who sings that? DMX. What?
No. He didn't need any
You don't
coffee.
like when I do that.
Can't think of his name. I'm gonna get it by the end of the show. But I think people like, I'm gonna just say it. Fat people. They go too hard with the diets. Like Steve, you went too hard. One day you woke up, so something didn't look right. You're like, you know what? I'm going on a diet. I'm not going to eat anything. It's just going to be berries and nuts from here on out. And then, you do it. You do it for a cool 2 weeks, and then you jump back to the burgers.
No, well, this time it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. What kind? How's the lifestyle going to work?
I'm gonna do, like I said in previous episodes, no carbs.
You said in previous episodes,
no
and then we saw it fail, and so that's why we're trying to figure out what's the new lifestyle.
We had a title of an episode was Steve's Carb Relapse.
Was that? And then there's like another couple episodes is when he snapped on people. I don't know if these blackouts have something to do with the diets. This may be. We may have found the problem. These blackouts could be
Brian's celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday, Brian.
No, we're not going to change the subject.
And all over the kitchen is pastry. I'm like, you motherfucker. He's like, it's about me. It's not about you. I said, I know what it's about. Stop that. Shit.
Look at the aggression.
I'm gonna enjoy this water.
I know. Hey, how was that plastic made in that? Is there any carbs if you put your mouth on it?
I'm just picturing it as a glass of Merlot. Miss my Merlot.
Oh, it was great because we actually had to take a trip to New York, and I believe Steve mentioned that the comics on the road, their food, it's hard to get good food, and I will say we can get good food. Food is delicious.
Yeah, we hung out at the Stand in New York. Their food menu for a comedy club.
It's really good.
Holy smokes. Bri, they have oysters, shrimp tempura. Do you know how hard it was for night 1 of a diet to not look at that menu?
You should have started it after you got back.
No, well, I was 2 days in. And Elena packed my cooler bag with all my diet food. And I'm with this motherfucker who eats circus food and don't gain a pound.
Now it's circus food that he can't have it. Now regular food is circus food because you got an attitude. He's one of those. That's the same people that get upset when you tell a fat joke in the crowd and they're fat, like they just got fat on the way in here. Don't get upset now that you have to make a change and talk about this delicious food now. But I understand he had his little. She packed this little bag for him and everything. It was
healthy.
Not manly. It was not manly. We were on the road. We were in shoulder to shoulder kind of in a car. We were in a smaller car having a very manly discussion, and then out of nowhere he pulls out a shaved cucumber and takes it straight to the face. Now I don't know if this was
I was eating the all right, that sounds bad too. There's no way around this. God damn it. Why does cucumber have to be a snack on this diet plan? There's no way around it.
I've never and you know when you're hungry And the bite, he was biting it hard. He was like he was forcing it down. Like
You should see if she can cut it up into pieces, like slices instead of just a whole.
For the
big
sake
piece.
of ball breaking, just to dodge getting my balls.
Yes.
You guys were just
Yeah.
messing with me before the show because I pulled the banana out of my pocket. You thought that was a bizarre thing. You know, people do that.
I thought he was Donkey Kong. Who just
You just
has a
started
banana
dying
in their
laughing.
pocket?
I just was like, yeah, so yesterday you guys were just laughing at me. I'm like,
Yeah, dude, I was laughing because the look on your face when you pulled it out.
It was disgusting. It
You
was
were just so sad.
He thought as a Snicker bar while he was eating it.
yes, babe, I ate the banana. See you in 20. I love my fiance.
Look, that's the force. Right there, that's the force. But Steve, your problem is, see, and this is what a lot of other people, I heard about his breakfast meal plan. And that's your problem. See, it's not about what you eat, it's how much you eat. He asked me what I had for
not
breakfast.
everybody.
Huh? No, for
not
you it's
everybody.
definitely. Okay, we'll just say you.
Me, it's portion control.
Yeah, it's portion control. Steve said, he asked me what I had for breakfast. I said, I knew he was fat in a minute. You can tell the part where you can tell he's fat. He said, what'd you have for breakfast? While he was eating, he was really trying to break down these string beans and asparagus that he did not want. He was forcing it down. I was like, I had some.
What's that have to do with breakfast? I'm confused.
You asked me while you were eating that meal that you were sad about eating, and you were like, what'd you have for breakfast?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did do that.
Yeah, it was a blackout moment. You can't catch it back. Relapse it, catch it back. And I was like, oh, I had some waffles, some eggs. Like, really? What kind of waffles did you have? I was like, oh, they were just regular, butter root mouth. He said, did you do whipped cream or did you do syrup? I was like, this sounded like porn now. I don't know. I'm not going to play. There's kids in the room. You got the kid in here. And I feel like it's getting awkward, Steve. But then he tells me, I was like, yeah, I had a couple eggs. Like, how many eggs you have? I said, I had like 2 eggs. And then immediately his wife, fiance. It's the same thing. You're fucked both ways. Like, it's the same thing. It's done. So, but it's like, she's like, no, he doesn't eat 2. He has 4 eggs. He sounds like a slave in the kitchen. It's like 4 eggs, like 3 waffles. He eats 2 packs of bacon.
1 pack. 1 pack of bacon.
She said 2 packs.
1 pack.
She said 2 packs.
Well, you said you eat 2 strips of bacon with your breakfast.
Yeah, 2. You eat 2 packs of pork bacon.
Well, what I do is I won't eat the toast because it's carbs, and then I'll get the bacon, the turkey bacon, and I'll dip it in my egg. So instead of the roll, I use the meat.
That's a guy that
Smart,
orders.
Right? That's keto diet, right?
That is not keto diet. That is carnivore shit. T-Rex. That's the people that go to Wendy's, order a number 5, a number 6, both of them large, and then a Diet Coke. Bitch, you're fat. The Diet Coke is not going to save you. Eat the toast. You ate all the rest of the black. Eat the toast. A pack of bacon is for a family, Steve. That's a family meal. All you have to do is cut back. You don't have to stop eating these great things.
Here's what you should
Just
do.
Eat
I got
smaller
some advice.
portions. Smaller portions. That's it. 2 packs of pork bacon. You're like a Muslim kryptonite.
What you need
That's
to do
fire
for
right there. I like
breakfast
that.
is you need
That's
to drink 1 or 2 cups of espresso and smoke 2 cigarettes. You will not be hungry. Nah, not anymore, but I chew tobacco.
Well, he's skinny too, so he don't have to worry about those.
That's
What's
what I do.
tobacco do to your appetite?
It curbs your appetite.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're destroying your lungs and not your...
But you're not fat.
But I'm thin. But that's what you got to do.
Sacrifice.
Smoke 2 or 3 cigarettes in the morning, have a couple cups of coffee, and you won't be hungry till like 1 o'clock.
Or you know what?
Babe, I know you're at Wawa. Get a pack of Marlboro Lights. I'll explain to you later. I don't know how this is going to go, but I don't know. She's sending me a lot of emojis from the previous text. All right.
Or you could just have your 2 bags.
Or I could start working out again.
Sprinkle a little crack on it.
Or there's a lot
just
of
smoke, dude.
He said, nah, just smoke.
But you two are rare rare types of humans to where you could eat what you want and not.
No. So you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do
too.
that.
Like for being an Italian guy and growing up in that culture
we're
where
people.
you just get Italian food thrown at you. Didn't you say your family owns a catering business?
Yeah, my mom had a catering business, but the other thing to my benefit too is I can't really eat a lot. You know, I can't physically force food into my body when I'm not hungry. Yeah. So when I'm full, I just stop.
Just stop.
And then the other thing is too, I don't get, and even as a kid, I didn't get hungry in the morning, so I wouldn't eat until like 1 o'clock. They have intermittent fasting, which is when somebody stops. They eat their last meal at like 6 o'clock at night, and then don't eat for like 18 hours until whatever that is. Like,
we spoke about that too.
Yeah, I do that naturally, like just as
because you're just not hungry,
exactly,
or you're conscious of it.
No, just because I'm not hungry. So I've always had that worked into my eating regimen just because that's how I am.
Yeah. I mean, I just got to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, just eat a little bit. Just a little bit.
I love food at comedy clubs. I like bar food. We perform at bars.
You can do it, but just don't eat so much. Like, I've seen you handle a platter of wings. Like, I've seen. You remember that time we went out? You want some more? There's no more left. What do you mean? Do I want some? Like, handle a platter.
I ordered. I remember. I was like, "You guys in the mood for wings?" She was like, "Yeah, I get." And then she came over. I said, "We'll take 40 buffalo." And you guys went 40. I went, "Yeah, we'll take the rest home."
You're like,
we almost finished the whole bucket.
Not we. There was no we.
We polished off like a dozen together.
And then Steve said, "I got it from here."
Listen, I got 2 vices. Comedy and food. Those are 2 vices.
Well, tell more jokes so that your mouth is moving in a different direction. Maybe if more jokes are coming out, less food is going in.
I think this podcast is now a vice. That's what I'm getting from this.
I'm the type, I can't eat a lot either, but my biggest problem is that I go to the bathroom right after. I go to the bathroom too much. Like, I know you hate that you're getting, but I'm pissed off that I couldn't gain weight. I can't gain weight. I couldn't get bigger.
If you ate a milkshake with every meal,
I drink those.
Bro, I'm telling you, I don't know if I can call you bro because it's 2021. I don't know if we can do that.
This is ball breaking. We have our own law. We have our own law. Everybody gets it. This is ball breaking. Everybody gets it.
I don't know. I'm telling you.
But I can't drink like a protein shake. I'm done.
Well,
I can't eat.
Actors, that's how they gain weight. They just do milkshakes with every meal.
But it's miserable.
Then calories.
I know, but like I can only contain so many calories and then I'm full. Like, I tried to do that, like have the little protein shake and then eat. After the protein shake, and if I do force it, I'm hitting the bathroom and I'm filling it up. Like I'm
the same way.
I can't.
I can't physically do it.
And then you're miserable after. Like now I'm just I'm miserable.
Well, now that I'm around my fiance's stepson, that don't help the process because kids.
And he's almost a teen too, right?
And listen, I know a lot of parents. Most of my friends have kids, and a lot of them are having them start with these healthy habits at a young age, like eating vegetables and eating healthy foods at lunch and not exposing them to candy.
Look at his head moves. He's so upset.
You can't do that to a kid.
It's child abuse. Steve says it's child abuse.
You can't do that to a kid. Can you imagine being like 5 and you're at a birthday party and they're like, here's the pizzas are here, and all the kids are getting crazy for the pizzas. They're cutting them up. You hand a 5-year-old a plate of pizza and he goes, I'll take the filet with the string beans, please. Like you can't do that to a kid. You can't get.
Well, technically, the kid he's a kid, so they don't have rights. Actually, when you become a parent, you'll realize that you tell whatever you say, that's what goes.
No, but
yeah.
No, sometimes I ask him what he wants, and he says he wants to go to McDonald's or he wants to go to Pizza Hut. I take him.
The problem with
what's
these
the
kids
option for an adult that's trying to be healthy when you take them to these places? Do you ever have a salad?
You're supposed to be the adult.
But I'm saying
the control.
Did you ever have a salad from McDonald's? They turn it into McDonald's in the salad.
I'm not surprised.
Well, they sprinkle some fries on it.
It's just fake meat.
Yeah. In the salad?
Yeah.
What? You had a salad because you're not supposed to get the meat. Why'd you put the meat?
Well, they have like chicken in their salads, and it's McDonald's chicken. That's not chicken.
You know, you can get the ones without the chicken in it.
Okay. Well, see, my brain don't even operate that way. Like, I wouldn't say just vegetables. I wouldn't say that. What do you get on your salad?
I don't eat them. I don't have to live like that.
This is the shit I'm talking about.
Yo, get the mic closer.
I'm like, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, that's got to be an option for most people. That I'm gonna take fish or chicken or salad. You too, motherfucker.
We eat fish and chicken.
You could go right to the side of the menu of all the deep fried and the sandwiches and shit. Not a lot of people can live like.
Hold on. First of all, Steve, let's just be real. The reason we're having this discussion is because you did visit those areas with us. So it's not like you were deprived. Okay. Well, the problem was you went too far. That's all. You can eat this stuff, but just don't go too far. Dude, literally, when I see you eat, when the food comes out, conversation is over. Steve looks like a literal shark. Like, he doesn't blink much. He doesn't breathe much. He cleanses this shit. The time we went to, we were in Delaware for that show, right? And then we stopped at IHOP.
There's a whole episode on it. No need to bring that up. No need to bring that up.
But the patience, like Steve, I don't know if it's an Italian thing, but soon as Steve hits one cheek, hits he expects food to just pop out of the table like immediately. And the lady was just going back. And as soon as he drops the order, he's looking at her the whole time while she's back in there. Where's she doing? Where's the stuff?
I think it's because growing up in my house, from the minute you show up at any party, any event, there's already stuff to get started on.
That's what happens.
It's already there. So you don't have to. It ain't like, oh, you're coming for dinner and we'll put it out when it's ready. You're as you're walking in, there's
what
stuff
it is.
All over the place.
So you want your kid not to send your kid to black parties. Because there's nothing ready when we get there. We're not even ready. When you get there, send your kids to black parties. Then you'll know. Eat before you get there, please, because they don't have enough of anything. That's what it is.
Well, aside from the diet that I'm on, like our trip to New York was definitely beneficial for us as up and coming comics, because we wanted to go to New York to see if it was like it was before the pandemic. And New York comedy
it's
just started the past 2 weeks. So we took a trip up there, and we wanted to see what it was like if comics can network, hang out, like meet people, and like what the audiences were like. And what we learned on the road trip was that me and Mike still do like the same music, but he laughs at me the whole time that I rap. So it was like, but we were playing a lot of DMX because he passed this month.
Yes,
and we were playing all classic DMX.
So Steve barked the whole way to New York, a very poodleish bark. It wasn't a Rottweiler, but arf, arf. This is like, please, we need tint in these windows or something. This is embarrassing. So he's barking arf, arf, and biting his cucumber. It was very awkward the whole ride there.
You're impressed that I knew the songs.
You did know the words. You just have. There's no swag. You don't have the swag with it. Is very
That's your
awkward.
Opinion.
your girl said it too.
Nah,
she did say it. She said she was tell Steve
to
stop doing that. I was like, because it's funny. Oh, because you know why?
Why is she marrying me?
Because you have an Italian swag. That Italian swag is sharp, but your black swag is off. Like, you don't have that at all. But your Italian swag, that's legit. You're good with that. But that other one, everything's not for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Just you gotta know your lane and just be there. You know, there's a reason. You don't know many Italian rappers. Like, you know what I mean?
They've tried, they failed.
And they stopped. That's it. They stopped. But that's what you do know all the words.
So stick to comedy and making money. That's it. do what you do, right? It's kind of thing.
You know, another thing, another hilarious story we had in the car, which I learned so much more about Steve on our road trips. Because he can't just walk away from me when we're in the car. He's got to sit and listen to my shit. But I remember we were talking about, comics coming up and how broke comics are in the beginning. Like, I don't think people really understand how broke we are chasing this dream. It's almost, we're one step from homeless.
Learned you can't say we. You can't say we.
You can't say
no,
we.
No, Eleanor Kerrigan was saying Don't use that loosely. We can't speak for
If
all
you've ever
comics.
seen Eleanor set,
No, we can't speak for all comics.
that I don't do that.
Oh, you just did we.
I know. I said I don't do that. Don't do we. I do we. I don't care if we can fight afterwards. I do we. I'm not finding certain letters and pronouns and shit. Fuck we. All right, we. A lot of comics are now with you. I can't say we because you're like a rich up and coming comic.
Rich.
But so
I bought this jacket at H&M on sale for $30.
I bought this at Old Navy 15 years ago.
Can't remember the price. It's been knitted and stitched by your fiance.
It's duct tape on the inside. This is how we're holding this. Steve's not rich, but it's just funny. Steve has a really good job, but a lot of comics, when they want to chase their dream, they quit their jobs, to move to places like New York, which is very expensive. New York and LA. I don't know why comedy had to be there in the most expensive places. Why couldn't it be in like Oregon, some goddamn where shit is cheap? But that's where it is. So a lot of these guys, they take little, side little waitress jobs or whatever, so they can still be
drugs.
There. Or they deal drugs. Yeah.
Biggest kept secret in comedy.
I need to start learning. If anybody's out there looking for an intern, a drug dealer,
This is ball breaking with Mike and Steve. We are only breaking balls. This is ball breaking with Mike and Steve.
But if you are looking for somebody to teach, I will be there. I need some help. I got married so I can have a second income. It ain't even about love. We are here struggling.
I didn't laugh at that, Adriana. I didn't laugh at that.
But for real, New York was parking was easy. Like that's how slow it is down there. Usually you go to New York, there's like herds of people crossing the street back before COVID, and now it's like empty streets. Everybody has to be out.
We got a parking spot like that.
Like just roll right up in front of the building and had a parking spot. It actually made me a little nervous. Like, you ever walk into something that's totally different? Like, why isn't anybody else here?
Ghost town.
Like
New York. Yeah.
It was
at least
crazy.
the time we were there. We were there in the middle of the week. We went to hang out. Eleanor Kerrigan headlined. Killed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely slayed.
And the stand, that is the stand. That
Beautiful club.
Beautiful
Great
club.
food. The staff's awesome. If you're ever in New York,
Definitely
check out the
It was
stand.
But yeah, we had to be out at what, 10:30?
With the restrictions, they said we had to be out of the building by 11 o'clock, but
Yeah.
they started
pushing you out at 10. It was like an eviction.
10:45-ish.
They got
yeah.
And they say
got
they're
very
serious with it.
aggressive with it.
Yeah, they're really serious with a lot of people getting fined for not having the people out. So, it's really weird for comedy because comedy is a late night thing. Like,
Right.
we're out. We don't come out until it's already late. You know what I mean?
Comics are generally people
until
that
2
night,
in the morning. So now, before the COVID, you could hit a couple rooms a night,
Right.
4 or 5 rooms a night. And now, I mean, if you have a set in a room, you may only get one night in. I mean, by the time you get to the next place, the curfew could hit and everybody's got to be out. So, especially for not living in New York, you have to, you really got to, you got to plan differently.
Yeah, it's a different, type of system or approach that you got to go into it.
Because, comedy doesn't, it's not like you can.
Again, this is our opinion. We don't say we.
Steve doesn't say we. Only because it's definitely different because, it's not like comedy where you can just go earlier, but they're not open yet. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's that small window. But it was still good to go there. Saw a lot of comics out there and a lot of comics back on stage that haven't been on there in a while, stretching out new stuff. And it was actually good just to be in New York. New York just has, ever since I started comedies, New York is I just look at New York different now. Mm-hmm. Like, New York is straight comedy to me now. Like, you know what I mean? This is comedy mecca right now. And it was a little saddening to see how it was beforehand to how it is
And it
now.
makes you appreciate what we have down here, what we created for ourselves in the Jersey, Philly area. We created that room on Tuesday nights at the Laughing
Fox. If you haven't been there, you should get there.
AC Jokes was running throughout
the whole time,
not throughout the whole pandemic, but came back around back end of the summer. So The AC Jokes guys, shout out to them. They threw us some stage time here and there.
Yeah.
So I mean, reps and being polished right now, it's a great spot to be in.
Yeah.
You know, because we continued to work on that the stand up side of it. Whereas right now, this is like becoming a new thing. Like the not a new thing. Podcasting has been there forever,
but
a
really
lot of
took a
people.
boom
Well, a lot of
after.
people now, their focus is podcasting.
Yeah.
You know.
And but I'm glad stand up's back because there's nothing. Stand up is its own animal, and even there's a whole bunch of facets in comedy that you can be. You know, as a writer, you can be. But stand up to me is it's the biggest part of it to me, because it's its only. That's like the only form right there where there's no edits in stand up. You know, when you have your material and you go out there and you think it's funny, you find out immediately if it's funny or not. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing else to fall back on, and that's just like it's like the I can't think of the right wording for it now, but it's like the most hardcore part of comedy to me. Like, you know
I'm
what I mean?
starting to think the most hardcore part of comedy is managing the family time with the comedy. Like Mike came over to pick me up before shows one night, and I'm just running around like a nut. Like trying to get everything done before I leave, because when you're living with somebody, now I was single a long time. I wasn't accustomed to a family life, and now it's a complete team effort, because if it's not, you get kicked out. So, you know, I gotta make sure I get a lot done. The dishes can't pile up in the plate like they used to. And Brian, looking in your kitchen, you keep it nice and tight too. You know the drill.
Yeah, I try to. My mom's house was like, she would walk behind us with a broom when we were kids, just sweeping up right behind us. So I got a lot of that in me, where it's like if there's something out of place, like I can't, like working from home, I have to have everything where it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it feels like my office is a fucking mess.
Or you'll get thrown out in the streets.
Yeah,
depending on the type. I don't know your lady that well, but you know, most put together women, they're not going to put up with a guy that's sloppy and they got to pick up after all the time. And I didn't realize I was sloppy until her 8-year-old son said, "Pick your shit up." That's when it was like. He's like, "Oh, you don't make your bed?" I'm like, "Oh my God, he makes his bed?" He's like, "Yeah, this is what adults do." I went, "Oh, holy!"
See, you can't let them do this. No, because I paid for this bed. You got to come back at these kids because they're strong. Kids will hurt your feelings.
Nah, but it motivates you because he's got his stuff together, you know, and I don't.
And that's another thing. You see, when you're living on your own, you know where you put everything. It's easier to keep your house clean. And even if you're just, you know, with you and your girl, it's just you and your girl. So, you know, both of you can clean up. But when you have kids, these motherfuckers, it's so much. Everything is everywhere. They're doing this. You have to clean up after yourself, which is already hard. Then them on top of it. It takes a lot of work. That's why comedy helps. You can get out of there and just go be somebody else and be away from them for a while. You know,
you do comedy to escape from your family?
Yes, I'm out. I'm out. I'll write jokes on the way.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, you do. I tell the kids, "Where you going, Dad?" "I'm leaving. But I'm a better dad than mine because I come back." Like that. So that makes a good dad. Eventually come back. So I'm a good dad. That's all it takes right there.
He's joking.
Now, I'm not asking my kids. They'll tell you. I'm truthful with them.
The struggle for me is the car. Man, the car's messy now.
I remember Steve.
The car's messy when you're around children.
Steve car smelled like a brand new car for 3 years.
Yes.
Brand new car.
Now it smells like a sock. And I don't know where that smell's coming from. Like I look under, I'm like, I don't know where that smell's coming from.
Kids, man. Kids. They stink all the time.
And if I have one of my own one day, there's going to be like a car seat in there.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing pimped out about that. You know?
It's going to be food and crumbs. With kids, there's always crumbs.
And sometimes things are sticky.
Sticky, yeah. Sticky.
What the fuck, dude?
And it's not that other sticky.
It's not the sticky. Yeah, it's not the sticky that makes you feel good. This sticky hurts and puts you to work in a different way.
Brings ants.
Yeah.
It's the other sticky. To tell you the truth, it's and people it's funny to see these others. So you go to other people's households that have like 3 and 4 kids, and you go into their house is immaculate and everything's clean and they make it look happy. But you can tell if it's happy now. You look at the man in the house. That's how you know if it's really happy or not.
Look at the man in the house in the Instagram, Facebook post, or in live.
Live. Look at him live. She makes him smile for Instagram. But after that,
you're happy in all your family photos.
You have to be,
online.
or she'll kill you. Yeah. You better show like we were doing this and we're happy. But the man himself is just sad. He's in this one chair. That's the only chair he sits in because that's the only thing he has in life. Is that chair and that beer, and that's it. So, but you have to. Me and my girl actually we're a little different. Like, you know what I mean? We're not. I can. In my past relationship, I hated it. I hated it. I was, you try to make the family thing work, but you don't agree with everything, but you don't want to argue. So you try to say the right thing. You pick and choose your arguments. I can't be like that. I just argue and just do. I can't pick and choose. It's too much. You know what I mean? So, but my girl really doesn't argue with me. She just walks away when she don't want to hear the shit I gotta say. She literally just walks away.
Turn the volume up on TV. That's another thing that I didn't realize I had a phobia. When you have a household, again, I was single a long time. When you have a house full of people and you're into a show, do you ever have that happen? You're really into a show and then someone asks you something and you go, shh. Oh, God damn. Bro, no one ever told me.
You do not shush, I do.
You're sleeping on the couch. Why didn't you ever give me the heads up about that?
Steve,
I'm usually into the, or if you're like on your phone and someone asks you something, or not someone, I'm saying her. Is that our episode? I got to stop this. What am I doing? Jesus Christ.
Women are
What do you want to talk about, Brian?
They're notorious for when you're focused. When you're focused, that's when they want you the most.
I show attention to women. I appreciate women, and I love my fiance.
That was so corny. Everybody can tell.
I'm just putting that out there.
Everybody can tell that.
Just putting that out there. Yeah.
He's like a politician trying to run.
I think, listen, I might be out of sorts right now. It's because I haven't had a carb in 4 days or anything that tastes normal. Jesus, this diet's rough, bro.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's not fun. But it's good for you.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Anything that tastes good kills you. Anything that's fun.
You know what's crazy?
I'm about to dig myself in another hole. I was about to say anything that's fun can kill you.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? You're going to die anyway. No matter how many string beans you eat, you're still going to check out. Would you imagine? Wouldn't that really piss you off if you had a chance between eating your favorite pasta meal or the string beans or whatever the stuff you don't like, and then you ate that and then just died?
Yeah,
whoa, that would be horrible.
See, that's why I'm the way I am.
You don't know?
I'm serious. I think that's why I yo-yo diet, because I think I have these moments where I'm like, God forbid if I was to go tomorrow, do I want it to be this boiled piece of bass? No, I want it to be this hoagie with mayo and extra oil.
Not what loved ones would I be leaving behind.
My priorities are in order, I guess.
I do the same thing, dude. I think about that all the time when I'm trying to decide what to eat. I'm like, this is what I want. That's what I'm having.
Hashtag YOLO still exists, right?
For sure. For that purpose only.
Wow.
Well, that was ball breaking with Mike and Steve.
It's good. I think you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself though. Now you're doing a lot. You're acclimating to a new
lifestyle,
family, and you're adding the food. That's a lot. It's both at the same time. You're gonna black out or blank out at one point. You're doing a lot. You are doing a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, the problem with why it's so hard for you now, especially with your family, is because you're in your 30s now. So now you're accustomed to your ways. Like, you know what I mean? You're used to everything being a certain way. That's why it's so hard to do it later on in life. Because if I didn't do it, if I wasn't married
It's
in my
not
20s,
later on in life, 30s.
living by yourself. If you've been living by yourself,
Oh,
for
like
that
no
long,
roommates, no brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and
it's
then
a
now
drastic change.
adding these people to your space, it's a big thing.
It's
hard to
helping
do.
me with my set. My comedy's getting good.
Frustration makes great comedy. Anger, disappointment, rejection. Those kind of things.
We're not
make
describing my life. He's speaking for himself.
You can tell by his face. That's exactly what I'm so happy to see, because Steve lived that bachelor great life. He had a great job, lived on its own.
I never said it was great.
He didn't have to. Everybody around him saw it. It was great. Good looking guy, Italian, had money, everything. He did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. Meanwhile, everybody else around him was married and sad and just looking at him like, God, if he wasn't a good guy, I'd whoop his ass. Like, I just hate it. If he wasn't such a nice guy, I'd run him the fuck over. Like, and now he's becoming an adult. Now, he thought he was an adult in his 20s, but you're not an adult until you get into a relationship and you make bills that are way out of your league. Like now, it's house buying time.
No, you're an adult when the number one thing on your shopping list is Lysol disinfection wipes.
That's just COVID now. That has nothing to do with that.
No, that has to do with the stains in my car that I got to get out right now after this episode. I'm Steve. This is Mike. It's Paul Breaking with Mike and Steve. Thank you for watching and listening, guys. Thank you.